Welcome to Full Court Tennis Advantage, where we unlock the secrets of pro-level tennis and bring them to your game. I'm Brian Teacher, Australian Open champion, coach, and founder of the Full Court Tennis app. Today, we're diving into one of the most critical skills in modern tennis, the return of serve. Whether you're facing a 132-mile-an-hour bomb down the tee or slicing a serve out wide, the keys to a great return are universal. And we're breaking them down by studying the best: Djokovic, Agassi, Sinner, Alcaraz, and Federer. But first, I want to look at return of serve points, and so we can get an idea of the great players and what percent of points they're winning on their first serve. And when I look, I see that Djokovic, that's clearly was a cornerstone of his game and why he was one of the greatest, if not the greatest player of all time. He's the highest average at 34% wins on first serve returns and 55 on second. When a returner is already in position with his racket back and legs loaded, they can adjust to anything. If it's a wide slice, they can explode and go after it. If it jams their body, they adjust and counter. All the hard setup is done. Now they just have to push through their feet, go after the ball, and swing. This preparation gives players greater consistency, power, and shot flexibility. It's not about reacting fast. It's about being ready early. Point two, the split step: compact and precise. Now let's talk about the split step. I think it's one of the most understood movements in tennis because I see in the juniors in the US, nobody's really doing it right, or I would say probably less than 2 or 3% at the most. So a proper split step is compact. It's not a jump. Here's what the best in the world do. So let's look at Djokovic, for instance. Minimal lift. Maybe at the most he's 2 to 3 inches off the ground and lands precisely at contact shortly after, 0.2 seconds, right? His air time is 0.2 seconds. He's on the ground and he's pivoted, right? Agassi barely left the ground under his turn, more of a kind of just a little bit of a rock forward and a split step. His air time was probably the least, which is like 0.15 to 0.18, and then he's in balance and pivoted. Sinner kind of has a little more athletic lift, kind of like 3 to 5 inches in the air. He stays wide and grounded. His air time's probably like 0.25 to 0.30. Alcaraz, he adds a slight like forward hop with intent and dynamic and explosive. And then you look at Federer. He's ultra economical. He's got a subtle split step with effortless efficiency. So what's the common thread? Well, they all land their split step just before or as the ball crosses the net, not after. That gives them time to pivot, read, and explode. So point number three is you got to eliminate wasted motion, right? Too many players start moving before the serve, taking a big, large step, and it costs them. So a step forward before a split step takes 0.2 to 0.25 seconds. Combine that with a big hop and you're well past 0.6 seconds, yet the ball is on you in just 0.3 seconds. So Djokovic, Agassi, Federer, they're still and composed before the serve. Their movement is very economical, efficient, allowing for clean, balanced reaction once the server hits. Stillness before the storm, then load and go. Number four, the balance over bounce. Let's clear this up. The split step is not a jump. It's a reset mechanism. You want to land low, wide, spring-loaded, not bouncing in the air. Alcaraz hops forward for momentum. Sinner lifts higher but lands grounded. Djokovic and Federer are tight, quick, and explosive. And Agassi is virtually imperceptible but deadly effective. The goal is really to land with force and direction, not hang in the air. Think of it as loading a spring, not bouncing like a pogo stick. Point number five, return, stance, visual cues, and adaptability. The stance and the eyes have to work together. Each player positions himself differently. Agassi stood on the baseline, taking away time. Djokovic plays a little bit deeper, reads and does his little split step with a tiny bit elevation. Sinner adjusts surface by surface his stance. Alcaraz combines positioning with explosive movement, and Federer timed the return early and took it as a weapon. But what unites them all is their visual focus. Great returners don't just watch the ball, they read it early. They lock in on the swing path. They see the strings, the ball off the opponent's strings, pick up cues from the toss, the racket angle. Their body is already loading as the ball is being hit, not after. This early visual read triggers everything: the pivot, the prep, the reaction. It's not active tracking, not passive watching. The wrap up is what makes a great return. You don't have to be the fastest, but you must be the most prepared. Here's your checklist, okay? Split step early, not late. Land balance, not bouncing. Pivot and get the racket back before the ball crosses the net. Use your eyes to read, not just react. Push through your legs and swing with purpose. When you're ready early, you can do anything. That's what makes the return of serve, when done right, one of the most dangerous shots in the game. Thanks for tuning in to Full Court Tennis Advantage. If you're ready to analyze your return, compare it to the pros, or get feedback from world-class coaches, head to fullcourttennis.com or download the Full Court Tennis app. Share this episode with a coach, a parent, or a player who's ready to take their return to the next level. I'm Brian Teacher. See you next time on